Hello, this is Hema from PGP 1921 batch of IIM Trichy. This video is made as a part of my IEP submission. The topic that I am going to discuss in this video is the impact of coronavirus disease or COVID-19 on Indian economy. This video was shot on the 4th week of March 2020 and the contents of this video are based on the data available as of the last week of March. The situation might change in due course of time. I have divided this video into 5 parts. In first part, I'll give a brief introduction about coronavirus disease. In the second part, I'll talk about the impact of COVID-19 on Indian economy. In the third part, I'll discuss about the loss the Indian economy has faced due to COVID-19. In the fourth part, I'll discuss how the situation might evolve and what will be the future impact of COVID-19 on Indian economy. In the fifth part, I'll talk about the steps the Indian government and the RBI has taken to mitigate the loss of COVID-19 on Indian economy. Let me first give you a brief introduction about coronavirus disease. In December 2019, COVID was first detected in Wuhan city of China. In January 2020, the first death due to this illness was reported. It soon spread to other countries such as Italy, US, Spain, India, Germany, France, and many others. In India, Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced a 21 days lockdown from March 24th midnight. There are rumors saying that India has entered the third stage, that is the community transmission stage, but the center has clarified that India is still in stage 2 of transmission. At stage 2, the source of all cases can be tracked. As of March 28, the overall number of COVID-19 positive people is about 6,84,676 throughout the world. In India, it is 1,024 and about 27 people have succumbed to this disease in India. Now let's see the current impact of COVID-19 on Indian economy. The virus hit state contribute to 64% of our national GDP. Maharashtra, with the largest number of cases, contribute to 14% of our national GDP. Due to COVID, there is a direct impact on demand and supply of goods and services. There is a significant interruption in all supply chains. And businesses are also facing reduced cash flows, which in turn affects all payments such as wages and salaries, interest, loan repayments, and taxes. The country is already experiencing a slowdown in growth. In the third quarter of the current fiscal year, the economy grew at 4.7%, which is the slowest in last 6 years. Now let's see how the impact began in India. In the month of January, when the virus started spreading at a rapid pace in China, it brought about first round of economic impact in India. In this round, companies faced supply-side disruptions due to their over-dependence on Chinese imports. Sectors such as automobile and pharma were severely affected due to the shortage in Chinese imports. As the virus started spreading in India, government announced partial lockdowns in several parts of India. This gave rise to second round effect. In this round, industries such as cement, heavy engineering, and automobile announced temporary lockdowns. FMCG companies such as Dabur, ITC, and HUL also shut down their manufacturing units, except for the plants which produced essential goods. The first two rounds of economic impact effects swept out about 52 lakh crore of equity investors' wealth, with Sensex and Nifty falling 35% from their January peaks. When the government announced a 21 days lockdown, all the economic activity in India came to a grinding halt. This gave rise to third round effect. In this round, corporates will face a hit on bottom line, businesses will face severe cash flow shortages, and workers will face pay cuts and retrenchments. This will in turn give rise to a vicious cycle of lower corporate capex and weaker consumer demand. Now let's see the loss Indian economy will face due to the 21 days lockdown. According to a report published by the Business Today, to assess the impact of loss, We not only have to consider the 21 days lockdown into account, but an additional 7 days for a good or service to be back to operation. So the effective loss should be assessed for 28 days. It is estimated that India will face an total loss of rupees 8.76 lakh crore. Now let's see the sector-wise losses. Mining sector will face complete disruption with an estimated loss of rupees 0.31 lakh crore. Manufacturing sector will face near complete disruption excluding the essentials with an estimated loss of rupees 2.61 lakh crore. Construction sector will face complete disruption with an estimated loss of rupees 1.06 lakh crore. Trade, hotel, transport and broadcasting services will face near complete disruption with an estimated loss of rupees 2.42 lakh crore. Financial, real estate and professional services will face near complete disruption excluding banking and healthcare services with an estimated loss of rupees 2.81 lakh crores. This sums up to rupees 8.76 lakh crore. Now let's see how the situation might evolve and what will be the future impact of COVID-19 on Indian economy. This can be explained using 4 different scenarios suggested by Economic Times report. In scenario 1, the situation will worsen in India and globally. So there will be further selling of domestic stocks and India's GDP growth rate may drop to 3.5 to 4%. Also, the global economy might slip into a recession. In scenario 2, the situation will be contained in India and the lockdown will not exceed beyond April 15th. In such a case, India will be gradual buyer of equities. The economic impact will be limited and fiscal year 2021's GDP target will be between 4.5 and 5%. But the March quarter's impact will be severe. In the third scenario, the situation will be contained in India, but the crisis will worsen globally. In such a case, Indian equities will outperform and India's GDP will grow at 4 to 4.5% amid a global recession. Lastly, in scenario 4, the situation will be contained in India and globally, and Indian markets may outperform. In such a case, India will become aggressive buyer, the economic impact in India will be manageable, and the global economic slowdown will last for 3 to 5 months. Now let's see what measures the Indian government and the RBI has taken to mitigate the impact of COVID-19 lockdown on Indian economy. In order to rescue the slowing economy, RBI has put on hold EMI payments on all term loans for 3 months and reduced the interest rate to the lowest in 11 years. It also cut the repo rate to 4.4%, which is the lowest in 15 years, and the reverse repo rate to 4%, creating an asymmetric corridor. Further, the cash reserve ratio was reduced for the first time in 7 years. CRR for all the banks was reduced by 100 basis points. This will release rupees 1.37 lakh crore across the banking system. Also, the Government of India has announced a relief package of rupees 1.7 lakh crore in order to provide a safety net for those affected by COVID-19 lockdown. I would now like to conclude my video saying that no one can accurately predict how long COVID-19 will last and when effective vaccines can be rolled out. All that we can do is speculate based on logic and past experience. The need of the hour is to stay home and stay safe for a better tomorrow. Thank you.